In 2019, Port Harcourt, Nigeria was on edge. Young women were found dead inside hotel rooms. There were no break-ins, there was no robbery. It was just a man who checked in with them and then disappeared. When police finally caught the suspects, many people were shocked by who it was. It wasn't a hardened criminal. It wasn't someone that was known by the police. This is the story of Gracious David West and how this quiet young man became one of Nigeria's most disturbing convicted killers. Before his arrest, Gracious David West was studying at the University of Port Harcourt. People who knew him described him as soft-spoken and intelligent. He came from a relatively ordinary background and blended easily into the student life. It was reported that he came from a polygamous family but grew up with his mother. He wasn't widely known as violent. He wasn't on any of the police radar. To most people around him, he looked like a normal young man trying to figure out his life. But investigators later said he was living a double life. According to police record and from his own statement, he spent long hours online and used social media to meet women. He presented himself as normal and friendly, that is, looking for people to hang out together. That online persona would become the way he gained his victims' trust. Between July and September of 2019, hotel workers in Port Harcourt began discovering bodies of young women from different hotels, but the same disturbing pattern. The women would have checked in with a man that uses a different name and would pay for the hotel, and after a few hours he would leave. At first, the deaths were not immediately linked, but as the number increased, police realized that they were dealing with a serial killer. The video came. There was a breakthrough video that showed a CCTV footage that captured images of a man entering the hotel with a different woman. That video began to circulate and helped investigators to identify the suspect. Side note, it was also known that his last victim survived because what he did to his victim, it was reported that he tied them up with a white string, tied their hands to their back, and he tied their legs and he gagged them with a rope. But then this last victim, she said from her account that he would put on a very loud music or play the TV very loud so that people wouldn't hear when they screamed, and then he would strangle them. But then she did not know what happened. Luckily for her, he left. I don't know why he left her after tying her up, but then luckily for her, the hotel workers were able to hear her scream and they came to her rescue. That was how she escaped. In 2019, in September, police arrested Gracious David West in Rivers State. He reportedly was found inside the church at the time of his arrest. During investigation, authorities said he confessed to multiple killings. He admitted he met his victims online, he lured them into hotel, he restrained them, and he strangled them. It was reported that he killed between 9 to 15 women. Investigators also recovered items that belonged to the victims, including mobile phones. This case absolutely shocked Nigeria. People struggled to understand how someone who looked so ordinary could commit such heinous crimes. In 2020, a Rivers State High Court found Gracious David West guilty of murder. He was sentenced to death by hanging and he is still on death row till today. And for many of the families of the victims, the conviction brought some level of justice, but the case left behind heavy questions about online safety and some hidden violence against women. People began to think about how people that look seemingly innocent could have so much evil inside of them. The David West case changed how people in Port Harcourt and in Nigeria thought about meeting strangers online. It also showed how quickly patterns can be missed. It's not really about how people look, because evil can lurk behind seemingly ordinary people. This is Grim Stories, real African cases that have been solved but still leave a lasting impact. Subscribe for more episodes as we break down true crime stories from Nigeria and across the continent, because sometimes the most chilling stories are the ones that really happened. Thank you for watching.